Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to class 9th of Indus Valley Public School, where we will be doing poem 4 from your Beehive book. And the name of the poem is The Lake Isle of Innisfree, composed by William Butler Yeats. So, children, this poem is about a poet who is having a homesickness, and he is describing his homesickness in the given poem. So before we proceed towards the poem, let's study about the poet. The name of the poet is William Butler Yeats. He was born on June 13, 1865, Sandymount, Dublin, Ireland. He is an Irish poet, dramatist and prose writer, one of the greatest English language poets of the 20th century. The themes are contrast of art and light, mass, cyclic theories of life, that is, the symbol of winding stairs, and the ideal of beauty and ceremony contrasting with the hubbub, that means noise, of the modern life. He did his education from National College of Art and Design from 1884 to 1886. He won Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923, and he left this world on January 28, 1939, Roquebrune, Cap Martin, France. Okay, now we will be moving towards the poem, and the introduction of the poem is: this poem is a lyric and nature romanticism. It is a musical poem. It explores the poet's craving for the peace and silence of Innisfree, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. So children, it's a general phenomena. Wherever we spend our life, wherever we spend our childhood, we love to be on that place, and we want to be there forever. Every now and then there are memories, there are things that recalls us. Whenever we see something, we will start thinking of our childhood. We used to do this thing, we used to do that thing on that particular point. Similarly, here poet is also attracted towards his childhood and the lake where he spent his life. So Innisfree is an island in a lake near Sligo, a beautiful seaport in Ireland. So Ireland is a birthplace of the poet. It is a very quiet place, and that is the reason the poet wants to go there. He had spent his childhood in this place. When he left with his parents to live in London, he often dreamed of the lake island of Innisfree. He has very sweet memories of that place. That is why he wanted to go back to the lake island of Innisfree. He wrote this poem in 1890 when he was in London, and he was standing on a London pavement when a jet of water in a chemist's shop set him dreaming of his island. This poem describes the poet's intense desire to escape from London to the lake island of Innisfree. Now children, I will be giving you the poem explanation as well as the literary devices used in the poem. So here comes with the first stanza of the poem. So first stanza: I will rise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 beans rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in bee-loud glade. So children, here cabin is a small room. Wattles, it's a stick that is used to make fences of the room, or you can say walls of any place. Okay, and glade means an open place. Okay, bee loud here refers to the sound that is made by the group of bees, the buzzing sound that used to come. Okay, so now here coming the explanation of the stanzas line. So here in this line, poet is saying that I refers to the poet, and the name of the poet is William Yeats. he says that he wants to go to Innisfree. Over there, he will build a small room for himself, and it will be made up of clay and small sticks, which are used to make walls or the fences of the cabin. As he will need some food to eat also, so he will grow 9 rows of beans near his room. Also, he will get honey from the honey beehive. He says that the open space where he will build his room will be full of buzzing sound of bees, and over there he will live all alone in peace and tranquility. Tranquility means silence. Okay. Now coming to the second stanza of the poem here. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wing. The children hear wails, जो घूंघट होता है ना, that way. So, a piece of fine material worn by a woman to protect or hide the face. Cricket, an insect related to the grasshoppers but with shorter leg. The male produce a characteristic musical chirping sound. Linnet, a small brown and grey bird with a short beak. See, I have given the picture of that. Glimmer means something which is shining. Okay. So now here in the stanza, poet says that when in Innisfree, he will feel peaceful, and he says that the feeling of peace is felt slowly and gradually. He describes how he would feel peaceful. So now he's telling how he's feeling peaceful in Innisfree. So in the morning time, when it is cloudy and the view is not very clear, then it will appear as if the morning has worn away and has hidden itself. Looking at this scene will make him feel peaceful. Further, he says that when male cricket insect will sing a song, that sound will bring him at peace. Also at midnight, when he will see the twinkling star in the open sky, the shine will give him peace. In the afternoon, when the sunlight will give a purplish glow, it will also give him peace. During the evening, when he will see linnet bird flying in the sky, then also he will feel peaceful. So all these things will give him peace. Okay, and he is starving for that peace because he is in London and is missing his hometown very much. He is saying that he will have peace, he will have silence in his heart whenever he will be in his place Innisfree. Okay, now coming to the third stanza. I will rise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with low sound by the shore. While I'll stand on the roadway or on pavement grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. So night and day means all time, lapping a striking sound. Hardcore means innermost of the heart, in the center of the heart. So now, my dear children, in the stanza it is told that now he will stand up and go to Innisfree because all the time the sound of the lake water striking the shore repeats his mind. This sound attracts him towards the lake. Wherever he is, either standing on the roadway or on the grey colored pavement, he hears the sound deep in the innermost part of the heart. So he is missing so much. Wherever he is hearing the sound of the lake, he immediately recalls his Innisfree Lake Island and he wants to be there, and he misses that place a lot. Okay, so this is there in the poem. Now coming to the literary devices used here. Children, rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. See how it is A, B, A, B. Let's check in the third stanza. Day, grey. So A, shore, core. Sound, same pronunciation. So A, B is the rhyme scheme. Now here repetition is there in the first stanza, and third, I will rise and go now. So in the stanza number 1 and stanza number 3, these two lines are repeated. So repetition is there. Okay. Now personification, your morning is being personified. Okay. So morning is personified, and alliteration is used in hive, honeybee. So HS ka repetition in stanza number 1. Lake, lapping, glow. L ka repetition is there in stanza number 3. Okay. And we have metaphor. Clouds are compared to veil. When it is said that in this line, see, I'll just show you in stanza number 2. Come here. So here in the stanza you see there, dropping from the veil of the morning to wear cricket. So now veils, I already told, veils a piece of fine material worn by women to protect hide of face. So morning, when your morning, when sky is not clear and it's covered with the cloud, and that cloud is compared to the veil. So here that is used. So metaphor is used in the poem. So metaphor, clouds are compared to the veil. Exactly, clouds are not veil, but here it is given as a veil. So that is the metaphor. And the last is there anaphora in the third stanza, where I will rise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with low sound by the shore. So repetition of I in the continuous line is there. So anaphora is there. Okay children, so now go through the poem and explanation. In the next video I'll give you the summary and the question answers of the poem. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you so much.